Hey everybody, welcome to another unlisted recording of my live recordings with my Discord audience. Today I will be reading another thing that has been suggested by Thrash. It is the Skippy's list, the 213 things Skippy is no longer allowed to do in the US Army. Now, he did specifically say on his site, I don't mind if you want to quote a few items from my list on your site, but please do not copy the list in its entirety. I'm not sure if that means, like, I should not be posting this on YouTube, or if he's going to flip out and do a backflip for me. But I am going to be reading the list for my audience here, and whoever wants to, share the video. So, alrighty. I'm going to begin by reading the list, not be lame. This is why I need to do practicing. Explanations of these events, because, it's not me. So I'm just going to go from the 213 things that it should, not allowed to do. Number 1, not allowed to watch South Park when I'm supposed to be working. Number 2, my proper military title is Specialist Schwartz, not Princess Anastasia. Number 3, not allowed to challenge anyone's disbelief of black magic by asking for hair. Number 5, not allowed to get silicone breast implants. Number 6, not allowed to play Pulp Fiction with a suction cup dart pistol at any officer. Number 7, not allowed to add an concordance with the prophecy to the end of answers I give it to a question an officer asks me. Number 8, not allowed to add pictures of officers I don't like to war criminal posters. Number 9, not allowed to title any product Give It Over, or Get Over It, sorry. This is why I need practice. Number 10, not allowed to purchase anyone's soul on government time. Number 11, not allowed to join the Communist Party. Number 12, not allowed to join any militia. Number 13, not allowed to form any militia. 14, not allowed out of my office when the president visited Sarajevo. I don't want to read the numbers. Not allowed to train adopted stray dogs to sick brass. Must get a haircut even when it tampers with my Samson-like powers. God may not contradict any of my orders. May no longer perform my now infamous Barbie girl dance while on duty. May not call any officers immoral, untrustworthy, lying slime, even if I'm right. Must not taunt the French anymore. Must attempt to not antagonize SAS. Must never call an SAS a wanker. Must never ask anyone who outranks me if they've been smoking crack. Must not tell any officer that I'm smarter than they are, especially if it's true. Never confuse a Dutch soldier for a French one. Never tell a German soldier, we kicked your ass in World War II. Don't tell Princess Di jokes in front of the Paras, aka the British Airborne. Do not take the batteries out of other soldiers' alarm clocks, even if they do hit the snooze about 40 times. The Irish MPs are not after me frosted Lucky Charms. Not allowed to wake a non-commissioned officer by repeatedly banging on the head with a bag of trash. Not allowed to let sock puppets take responsibility for any of my actions. Not allowed to let sock puppets take command of my post. Not allowed to chew gum at formation unless I brought enough for everybody. Not allowed to chew gum at formation even if I did bring enough for everybody. Not allowed to sing High-Speed Dirt by Megadeth during airborne operations. Can't have flashbacks to wars I was not in. The Spanish-American War is not over. Our medic is called Sergeant Larwesa, not Dr. Feelgood. Our supply sergeant is Dr. Watkins, not Sugar Daddy. Not allowed to ask any of the day off due to religious purposes on the basis that the world is going to end more than once. I do not have superpowers. Keep on trucking is not a psychological warfare message. Not allowed to attempt to appeal to mankind's baser instincts in recruitment posters. Camouflage body paint is not a uniform. I am not the atheist chaplain. I am not allowed to go to Bragg Boulevard and shake Daddy's little moneymaker for 20s stuffed into my undies. I am not authorized to fire officers. I am not a citizen of Texas and those other 49 lesser states. I may not use public masturbation as a tool to demonstrate a flaw in a command decision. Not allowed to trade military equipment for magic beans. Not allowed to sell magic beans during duty hours. Not allowed to quote Dr. Seuss on military operations. Not allowed to yell, "Take that, Cobra," at the rifle range. Not allowed to quote Full Metal Jacket at the rifle range. Napalm sticks to kids is not a motivational phrase. An order to put kiwi on my boots does not involve fruit. An order to make my boots black and shiny does not involve electrical tape. The proper response to a lawful order is not why. The following words and phrases may not be used in a cadence, budding, sexuality, necrophilia. I hate everyone in this formation and wish they were dead. Sexual lubrication, Black Earth Mother, all Marines are latent homosexuals, tantric yoga, gutter derong, Korean hooker, Eskimo Nell, we've all got jackboots now, slut puppy, or any other references to squid. May not make posters depicting the leadership failings of my chain of command. The giant space ants are not at the top of my chain of command. If one soldier and a second lieutenant bar in his uniform, and I have an E4 on mine, it means he outranks me. It does not mean I have been promoted 3 more times than you. It is better to beg forgiveness than ask for permission. No longer applies to Specialist Schwartz. Command decisions do not need to be ratified by 2/3 majority. Inflatable novelties do not entitle me to BAQ or separation pay. There are no evil clowns living under my bed. There is no anti-mime campaign in Bosnia. I am not the psychological warfare mascot. I may not line my helmet with tinfoil to block out the space mind control lasers. May not pretend to be a fascist stormtrooper while on duty. I am not authorized to prescribe any form of identification. I must not flaunt any deviances in front of the chain of command. I may not wear a gimp mask while on duty. No military functions are to be performed skyclad. WOAD is not camouflage makeup. May not conduct psychological experiments on my chain of command. Teddy bear, turn around is not cadence. The MP checkpoint is not an Imperial Stormtrooper roadblock, so I should not tell them, you do not need to see my identification, and these are not the droids you are looking for. I may not call block my chain of command. I am neither the king nor queen of cheese. Not allowed to wear a dress to any army functions. May not bring a drag queen to the battalion formal dance. May not form any press gangs. Must not start any sit-rep situation report with "I recently had an experience I just had to write you about." Must not use vehicles to squish things. Not allowed to make a psychological warfare product depicting the infamous Fort Bragg sniper incident. May not challenge anyone in my chain of command to the field of honor. If the thought of something makes me giggle for longer than 15 seconds, I am to assume that I'm not allowed to do it. Must not refer to First Sergeant as Mom. Must not refer to the Commander as Dad. Inflatable sheep do not need to be displayed during a room inspection. I am not authorized to initiate jihad. When asked to give few words at a military ceremony, romper, bumper, stomper, boo is not appropriate. Nerve gas is not funny. Crucifix do not ward off officers, and I should not test that. I am not in need of a more suitable host body. Redneck Zombies is not a military training aid. Gozer does not dwell in my refrigerator. The proper response to a chemical weapon attack is not tell my chain of command what I really think about them and then poke holes in their masks. A smiley face is not used to mark a minefield. Claymore mines are not filled with yummy candy, and it is wrong to tell the new soldiers that they are. This has been 100 so far of this list. If you would like me to continue, please, by all means, say so in the Discord. I am waiting patiently. I'm loving the lawnmower I'm hearing outside right now, too, because every once in a while it just pulsates into the mic, and I can hear it, and I can see it. Alright, I will continue. Ready, set, I am not allowed to mount a bayonet on a crew-served weapon. Rodents are not entitled to burial with full military honors, even if they're considered casualties of war. My commander is not old enough to have fought in the Civil War, and I should stop implying that he did. Vodka, green food coloring, and cool mint Listerine bottle is not a good combination. I am not allowed to bum cigarettes off of anyone under 12. I may not trade my rifle for the following: cigarettes, booze, sexual favors, Kalashnikovs, Soviet armored vehicles, small children, or bootleg CDs. Must not mock command decisions in front of the press. Should not taunt members of the press even if they're really fat, exceptionally stupid, and working for UPI. I am not authorized to change national policy in Eastern Europe. Never ever attempt to correct a Green Beret officer about anything. I am not qualified to operate any US, German, Polish, or Russian armored vehicles. When saluting a leg officer, an appropriate greeting is not airborne leads the what? Oh, sorry, sir. There is absolutely no need to emulate the people from Full Monty every time I hear the song Hot Stuff. I cannot trade my CO to the Russians. I should not speculate on the penis size of anyone who outranks me. Crucifying mice is a bad idea. Must not use government equipment to bootleg pornography. Burn pits for classified material are not revel fires, therefore it is wrong to dance naked around them. I cannot arrest children for being rude. An EO briefing is probably not the best place to unveil my newest off-color joke. I should not use government resources to waterproof dirty magazines. Radioactive material should not be stored in the barracks. I should not teach the other soldiers to say offensive and crude things in Albanian under the guise of teaching them how to say potentially useful phrases. 2-drink limit does not mean first and last. 2-drink limit does not mean 2 kinds of drinks. 2-drink limit does not mean the drinks can be as large as I like. No drinking of alcoholic beverages does not imply that a Jack Daniels IV is acceptable. Spitoinkle is not a real word. The Microsoft dancing paperclip is not authorized to countermand any orders. I'm drunk is a bad answer to any question posed by my commander. No dancing in the turret. This especially applies in conjunction with Rule 113. The loudspeaker system is not a forum to voice my ideas. The loudspeaker is not to be used to replace the radio. The loudspeaker system is not to be used to broadcast the soundtrack to a porno movie. An order to put polish on my boots means the whole boot. Shouting, "Let's do the village! Let's do the whole fucking village!" while out on a mission is bad. Should not show up at the front gate wearing a part of a Russian uniform, mentally drunk, even if my commander did it. Must not teach interpreters how to make MRE bombs. I am not authorized to sell mineral rights. I'm not allowed to use a broadsword to disprove the pen is mightier than the sword. Calvin Ball is not an authorized PT. I do not need to keep a range card by my window. K-Pot, LBE, and a thin coat of Break Free is not an authorized uniform. I should not drink 3 quarts of blue food coloring before a urine test. Nor should I drink 3 quarts of red food coloring and scream during the same. I should not threaten suicide with Pop Rocks and Coke. Putting red Mike and Ike's into a prescription medicine bottle and then eating them all in formation is not funny. Must not create new DoD forms, then insist they be filled out. On Sports Day PT, a wedgie is not considered an illegal tackle. The proper way to report my commander is Specialist Schwartz reporting as ordered, sir. Not, "You can't prove a thing!" The following items do not exist. Keys to the drop zone, a box of grid squares, blinker fluid, renter air for the tires, canopy lights, or chem light restricted batteries. I should not assign new privates to guard the flight line. I shouldn't treat piss bottles with extra strength icy hot. Teaching Albanian children to taunt other soldiers is not nice. I will no longer perform lap dances while in uniform. If I take off the uniform in the course of the lap dance, it still counts. The revolution is not now. When detained by MPs, I do not have the right to a strip search. No part of the military uniform is edible. Body checking general officers is not a good idea. Past lives have absolutely no effect on the chain of command. Take that hat off. There's no such thing as a wear virgin. I do not get that time of the month. No pants are not optional. Not allowed to operate a business out of the barracks, especially not a pornographic movie studio. Not even if they are specifically patriotic films. Not allowed to defect or to OPFOR during training missions. On training missions, do not try to shoot down the general's helicopter. A full magazine set in some privacy is not the way to help a potential suicide. I am not allowed to create new levels of security clearance. Furby is not allowed in the classified areas. I swear to the gods I did not make that up, it's actually a DoD policy. We do not charge into battle naked like the Celts. Any device that can crawl across the table on medium does not need to be brought into the office. I am not to refer to a formation as the boxy rectangle thingy. I am not a lesbian trapped in a man's body. On army documents, my race is not other. Nor is it Secretariat the Third. Pokemon Trainer is not an MOS. There is no FM for wall-to-wall counseling. My chain of command has neither the time nor the inclination to hear about what I did with the 6 boxes full of Fruit Loops. When operating a military vehicle, I may not attempt something I saw in a cartoon. My name is not a killing word. I am not the emperor of anything. I must not taunt officers in the throes of nicotine withdrawal with cigarettes. May not challenge officers to meet me on the field of honor at dawn. Do not dare SERE graduates to eat bugs. They will always do it. Must not make s'mores while on guard duty. Our Humvees cannot be assembled into a giant battle robot. The proper response to a briefing is not, "That's what you think." The Masons and Grey Aliens are not in our chain of command. Shouldn't take incriminating photos of my chain of command. Shouldn't use Photoshop to create integrating photos of my chain of command. I am not allowed to give tattoos. I am not allowed to sing Henry VIII I am until verse 68 ever again. Not allowed to lead a coup during training missions. I should not confess crimes that took place before I was born. My chain of command is not interested in why I just happened to have a kilt, an inflatable sheep, a box of rubber bands in the back of my car. Must not valiantly push officers onto hand grenades to save the squad. Despite the confusing similarity in the names, the safety dance and safety briefing are never to be combined. To conquer the Earth with an army of flying monkeys is a bad long-term goal to give the re-enlistment NCO. Never nail a stuffed bunny to a cross and put it in front of battalion headquarters as an Easter desecration. Do not write up false gigs on an HMMWV PMCS, broken clutch pedal number 3 turbine has frequent flameouts, flux capacitor emits loud whine when engaged. Not allowed to get shot. The chicken and rice MRE is not a personal lubricant. Side note here, Skippy has wanted this noted for the record that this is not something he has ever attempted or considered. It was something that was heard at dinner on September 22nd, 2001, and was just so obscene that he had to go here. Not allowed to play into deluded fantasies of civilians who are hearing conversations about the NSA, FBI, CIA, and KGB due to the microchip the aliens have implanted in their brain. An air sickness bag is to be used for air sickness only. Also not Skippyism. This is when it's insane there. Must not make t-shirts depicting a pig with the writing "Eat pork or die" in Arabic to bring a civilian attire when preparing to deploy into a primary Muslim country. Do not ask LTC Steel to sign my copy of Black Hawk Down. Must not go on 9 deployments in 6 years that require security clearance that I do not have, even if the Army tells me repeatedly that I have one and I have no reason to question them. And finally, do not convince NCOs that their razor bumps are the result of microscopic parasites. And there you have it. That is the list of Skippy. And the 213 things that he is not allowed to do. This one will be going into one of the unlisted videos, so hopefully you guys will be able to share it with people that you want to share it with, and if it gets enough attention, I might actually publish it on the actual YouTube channel. If not, that's up to you guys. Shrug. I just really enjoy reading these things. And hopefully I will be able to do more in the future. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you're on Discord right now listening live, please let me know in the tavern. It'd be fantastic. I will see you guys next time.